recently, not even recently, let me stop saying that. Yesterday, so the news, I was looking at my Instagram. Actually, no, not yesterday. No, Saturday. Saturday, I'm sitting there looking at my phone on the Instagram, and Peter Rosenberg had took to the gram and posted footage of what I thought initially was the old footage of Biggie getting chased in Brooklyn. His casket getting chased in Brooklyn when he passed away. If you don't remember, back in the days, it was damn near like a huge riot in Brooklyn. Not even a riot; it was a huge gathering in Brooklyn, and it looked like a riot. It looked like it was none but chaos and pandemonium. But it was actually just a celebration of life for Biggie. There was so many people out there that they had to control it like that. I thought he was sharing footage of the casket getting chased. What Peter Rosenberg was actually sharing to the world was a group of kids actually on top of a car, and on the side of it, chasing it, grabbing onto it. But they weren't doing it for nobody, but a gentleman named Cenat. Supposedly, Cenat was holding a giveaway. If you don't know who Cenat is a very popular influencer in the Twitch and YouTube community, and has a lot of young followers. And these young followers took it upon themselves together, as they say. People are saying it was all 6 million his followers. It wasn't all 6 million his damn followers. It wasn't 6 million people out there, but it was a good handful of motherfuckers out there. I'll say that. Definitely a good handful of people out
Cenat will be charged with multiple counts of inciting a riot and unlawful assembly. That is the latest once again from police after thousands of people came together yesterday for that giveaway held by the 21-year-old who does have more than 6 million followers on Twitch and more than 4 million subscribers on YouTube. It all led to the scene in Manhattan's Union Square. In all, police say they arrested 65 people. 30 of them were juveniles, and multiple people there were injured. I do want to bring in Miguel Ortiz. He was actually there when the madness broke out, and he joins us live to talk more about all of this. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here, Miguel.
How you doing?
So first off, just tell me what made you want to travel from Connecticut over to New York for this giveaway.
Well, Cenat, honestly, Cenat and Phantom, it was a big event. I am a content creator, so I figure if I go out there and show a little bit of love and maybe I could get a good opportunity to have some good content. So I wasn't really much going out there for like the giveaway, the prizes and stuff, more of just the people there and just trying to have a good time.
And just kind of break down for me how everything progressed, because I know earlier on in the day, everything seemed fairly calm and then the crowd built and then you saw what happened next. But just kind of break that all down for me.
So it was calm. I was like probably like one of the first people to be there. I got there at 9 a.m. and it was very, very calm in the beginning. It was cool, it was collective. And then around like 12, I went to go take like a little break. I come back and there's a huge crowd, right? And everybody's like amped up, everybody's hyped. There's other content creators, everybody's doing their thing, and it's fun and games. The moment when it started getting like really escalated was when they started having like a what I thought was like a food fight. They was throwing water bottles, going crazy, and I was like, oh my God, like they're just throwing water. And then they started throwing everything else that's not water bottles. They was throwing cones, they was throwing crutches, paint cans, anything glass, like anything they get their hands on, it was just thrown.
And that's when my antenna raised. For the simple fact that, yeah, I get it. It's a bunch of young kids out. Now, mind you, this was a PlayStation 5 giveaway. A PlayStation 5 giveaway. Okay? Let's not forget that. In the middle of Manhattan, he was just giving away a PlayStation 5. Now, What raised my antenna the most is when this gentleman just said everything was cool until they started doing the food fight. Now, reason why my antennas raised at that was I couldn't help but think about, we've never seen anything like this before. Where a YouTube Twitch influencer has this many people come out to see him in the middle of Times Square. Young people at that. Now, I'm thinking to myself, these same young people, why would they even risk the gathering being dispersed by doing that? And then I said to myself, what if there were crisis actors in that crowd that were staged to cause this riot? What if there were crisis actors that actually started that food fight and the cone throwing? Notice that the specific things that he's talking about being thrown, these are all things that will be thrown to basically incite a riot. They were just being randomly thrown. They weren't being... he didn't say that they were being thrown at people. They were just being thrown around. He didn't say a fight broke out. He didn't say an altercation happened. He said they just started throwing things around. I'll let y'all be the judge further on what he says next.
And I was like, wow, like this is this is insane. And from there, everything just escalated to worse and worse.
And tell me what's going on in this video here, because as you mentioned, there's folks kind of throwing stuff and everyone's kind of gathering together. What was going on at this point?
So at this point, this is like where the start of it was. I vividly remember this. This was the very, very start. So at this moment, everybody was just, I remember we were just in the crowd. They were all dancing and hyped up. Somebody threw one, I think it was one water bottle that started this whole war. It was one water bottle. And then I see people just like tossing everything. Everybody had drinks in their hand. Like everybody was kind of like chilling, having fun. Somebody threw one thing and then everybody started throwing everything. The chairs, the tables, the cones, the barricades, crutches, paint cans, like anything to get their hands on.
And so New York City police held a news conference that we just played a short time ago, and they said they're going to charge Kai with several misdemeanors for inciting a riot.
Now, as y'all just saw, it took what? About 6 or 7 different items to be thrown before you saw that one kid even pick up a chair and just throw it in the middle of the street, right? There were people behind in the crowd literally hurling things high up. It looked like shit was getting jackknifed up into the sky, out into the middle of that thing. Y'all literally are watching the footage of shit being... There's no human being that can throw a cone that fucking high that possible. Something looks very fishy about this entire thing.
I want to get your thoughts on that. Do you think, based on what you saw there and what you know about Kai, that he should be charged?
Honestly, no, because this whole event was not meant to be like to bash Kai, to start a riot, to do anything crazy. This was given back to the fans that of his city, him, Kai. Like they just wanted to show love to everybody and give back. That was the intentions. Now, what people's actions are is out of his control. You know, it's like if you throw a party and somebody's not having fun, that's not your responsibility. That is the person of who is not having fun. You understand? So this was...
Now, I disagree with him saying that part, because you kind of buried Kai in the ground with that one. Not buried him in the ground, but you kind of dug a hole for him that one. Yes, if you are the party thrower and you are the host of the party and people start fighting at your party, it is your job to figure out how to disperse that fight in the party. It is not the fighters to figure things out on how to disperse it. They are already in the heat of the moment. It is your job as the host of the party to disperse that fight.
never his intentions. It wasn't like, yeah, let's go riot, let's go crazy, let's tear it all up. Like, no, it was like, hey, let's give back. The main part, like the whole reason with all this was to get off the streets and go stream. That was the title of like this whole event. Get off the streets and go stream and make something of yourself. So I don't believe it's fair, honestly, because it wasn't his intentions to start this.
Are you surprised by the amount of people that showed up for this event? Because we're talking, I think at last check, they may have said 6,000 people were there in total. Does that surprise you at all? Or based on how big Kai is that not surprising?
Based on how big Kai is, I want to say I've seen him do like a little Uzi music video, and he kind of did something similar, like, and I saw how people were acting there. So I wasn't so surprised that as many people showed up as they did, because this was like a day in advance. So we had a little bit of time to kind of like get ready and prepare for this. That's why I was able to come from Connecticut. But I wouldn't say I was so surprised. I was surprised of what happened, like of all this, because I wasn't expecting all that. But not surprised amount of people, to be honest.
And a lot of people are just hearing about.
With great power comes great responsibility, as they say. With great power comes great responsibility. So yes, if that is the case, this wasn't some. So if what I'm hearing is correct, this was something that was developed within the next over a couple of days. Let's give it the benefit of the doubt and say this was something that was organized maybe 6 or 7 days ago, right? Let's give it the benefit of the doubt and say it was even orchestrated that long ago. That gives me more reason to believe that there were set up crisis actors put in that scenario that day. That further leaves me to believe that this was definitely crisis actors that were in that were in that crowd that day and caused that riot among Kai Cenat's influence, I should say, amongst Kai Cenat's followers. I don't think that was the kids that started that riot. I do not think that was the children that started that. I think that was crisis actors in the middle of that, and they saw it was a monkey see, monkey do. As you heard Mr. Miguel say, one water bottle got thrown, all of a sudden everybody started throwing things. I do believe that there was something that was staged there to happen unbeknownst to Kai Cenat. That is just my opinion. That is just my take on it, just from looking at different things that have happened in the past, in the media. This looks like a staged riot that Kai Cenat had nothing to do with. This does not look like Kai Cenat had anything to do with this riot whatsoever. Now, like I said before, I do agree with. Let me say this: I don't agree with him being charged, but I do agree with the fact that he needed to at least have some type of conscientiousness and say, "Hey, we need to do this in a more organized way." Him just having the kids just pill out in the street like this was a little bit chaotic. He kind of opened the door for this to happen. This is one of those things where you have to think it through. Put it like this. Miguel just said he had the power to bring out people during the Lil Uzi Vert video for I Just Want to Rock. I remember that video. If you remember the pandemonium, we won't show it because of YouTube, of course, but the pandemonium that was out there for the Lil Uzi Vert video during I Just Want to Rock was insane. The blocks were literally filled up with people, as if it was a concert. You can literally see different blocks and avenues filled with people for that video. Some was CGI, majority of it was not. It was a good peel out. Yes. But some was not. But it was a good turnout for the Lil Uzi Vert video. What Kai Cenat had demonstrated here was just his power of influence. And I think that because those crisis actors were out there to cause some mayhem that they shouldn't have, I think that's what actually happened out there today. But I do not believe that this is something Kai Cenat intended to happen. However, I do think that he should have organized this a little bit so where this wouldn't have happened.
Kai for the first time maybe 24 hours ago as this all has played out and has made some major headlines there. Tell me a little bit about Kai and what makes him so important on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok. He's everywhere.
I look at Kai like a huge role model. And Kai, if you're watching this, he's a huge role model. You know, I'm a content creator myself, and I look up to Kai because of the joy that he brings to me personally, let alone to like the hundreds, the millions of followers and the people that keep up with him. He brings smiles to a lot of people's faces. And I love that. I look up to him as an inspiration and somebody who I could kind of look up to in a way, you know? So he does a lot for the community as far as like making cheering people up, you know, and entertaining. Takes entertainment to the next level. Say that.
Does this change anything about traveling to New York City for you? Are you going to be more, I guess, aware of your surroundings and kind of think twice? What does this do to New York City for you? Because you're, of course, from Connecticut, and New York City, quite a large city.
I'm not new to New York. I was born in New York, but I was raised here in Connecticut. So I was always, you know, watch my back, make sure you're all good and stuff. Doesn't really make me look at New York any different, to be honest. Not scared. Not whatever. People are people, and people are gonna do whatever they want. You know, this could happen anywhere. This could happen here in Connecticut. You never know. It's just what people's intentions of the heart is, not from the place.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to join us and help kind of break all this down for us and give us kind of that
Sure.
firsthand account of what happened. Is there anything else that you want to add before I let you go?
Don't be mad at Kai. Again, it wasn't his intentions. Nothing. This was not supposed to happen at the level that it went to. Again, it was just like a give back, like just a give back to like the community and support his fans. People are saying, "Oh my God, he's violating everybody, and everybody got hurt." This was not his intentions. If you really look into it, he was actually trying to help and calm people down. Just don't be mad at him, man. You know.
All right. Thank you again
Free
for
Kai.
taking the time to be here.
Yes, 100%. Thank you.
Kai Cenat will be charged with multiple counts of inciting a riot and unlawful assembly.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, it could have definitely been organized a whole hell of a lot better. It did not have to be a bunch of people peeling out in the street for a giveaway. Number one, even if you had, because let me say this too. Even if we're gonna guesstimate and say it was maybe 20, 30,000 people out there, you ain't have 30,000 PlayStations, guy. Let's be honest here. You ain't have that many PlayStations to give away for this many people to be out there. I understand you doing a giveaway, but there's such thing as time and place. That time and place needed to be organized with that. There really is no reason why there should be that many people out there for. I want to find out real quick how many was he giving away. I want to know real quick if they're going to say, if they have any knowledge. Crowley roughly. It was 2,000 people out there. 2,000 people at 65 had got arrested. So basically, he just had a bunch of PlayStations that he was just going to hand out. Okay, so yeah, so this is where I said. Now I'm reading this here, even better, right? So the U.S. Sun says he had 300 to give away, and 2,000 people showed up. So yeah, you only had 300 to give out. You could have at least done this a little bit more organized. You could have definitely said, "Hey, you come this day, or you, and you won this day." You giving out 300 PlayStations in the middle of Manhattan? I could have. I'm just saying that was gonna go bad regardless, and this is why I said the thing with the crisis actors. This was set up to go bad whether he wanted it to or not, because it was so unorganized. This is one of those things where you let the devil in the door and he made it home. That's what happened here. When he saw he could spark, all he did was put his finger down. But God bless to everybody that was there, anybody that was injured or hurt. Um, God bless to the ones that got arrested, because the madness that I saw. I mean, I'm just saying. This was crazy. This was literally crazy. Now, this is where I draw the line right here. This is where I draw the line right here. Because if I was the owner of this person with this car, a traffic light wouldn't have been stopping me from running nobody over. An officer wouldn't have stopped me from getting out my car and hurting this little man here. Listen, why are you trying to break my window? Why are you throwing things at my vehicle? Why are y'all climbing on my vehicle? What are y'all doing? Now, this has nothing to do with what I said with the Christ actors, because this is clearly children. This is clearly children that have just said fuck it at this point. This is when I really said, wait a minute. All of this for 300 PlayStations. And like I said, with the whole thing of the police coming out using metal barricades to push a crowd back, and macing, and the hurling of the cones, all of those things said crisis actors. All of those things said crisis actors. But yeah, man, what a world we living in, when a young 20-year-old Twitch streamer can cause 2,000 people to cause chaos in the middle of Manhattan for giving out PlayStations. A sign of the times, I tell you, a sign of the times. Because y'all ain't got to worry about them. Because they ain't worried about us. Yeah, man. We definitely living in a sign of the times right now, where it's getting dark out. It's getting dark out early. We will see what is to come of things later on.